Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's developer coaching webinar. My name is Tara Van Cleef, and I'm part of the technical marketing organization here at Oracle. Today, we'll show you how to enhance the Oracle Digital Assistant by integrating Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Document Understanding Service with the help of Oracle Integration Cloud. Today's webinar will be presented by Saipriya Thervakadu, Senior Cloud Engineer, and Aditya Trivedi, Senior Cloud Solutions Technologist. So without further ado, Saipriya, take it away.
Thank you, Tara. Hey everyone, this is Saipriya, Senior Cloud Engineer from the Virtual Code Innovate team. And along with me, I have Aditya Trivedi, who is working along with me in the Code Innovate team as well. That being said, let's get started. Today, we're going to dive deep into document understanding service, and then we're going to walk through the console of document understanding service. And then I'll be showing you guys a demonstration of the solution which we have built and the notional architecture. And then we'll be taking you guys through the Oracle Integration Cloud configuration. And then we'll be talking about like the Oracle Digital Assistant setup and configuration, wherein we will be using the API integrations from Oracle Integration Cloud. And then we'll be walking you guys through the Code Innovate program. That being said, let's get started. So first of all, what is Document Understanding Service? The OCI Document Understanding is like a powerful AI service that helps the developers to automatically extract the important information. For example, like you take a PDF document and you extract all the text, tables, and key data from the documents such as PDFs and images. And it also provides like easy to use tools. For example, like you can use APIs and command line options, making it very easy for you to integrate with your business applications. The document understanding is basically built on computer vision, and there are like several use cases that shows how document understanding can be used, as you can see here, right? And you can extract the document information to store and analyze the data. So you can do use document understanding for basically two things. One is you can extract the document information to store and analyze the data, and also extract and classify the data and further automate it. It also helps you to save a lot of time and energy for all the manual data entries, and it will help you to streamline the processes. Now let's take a look at how you can how the document understanding service works. So first of all, you will select the data. Let's say you will have some PDF documents or the text documents, and you'd like to upload it on object storage, or probably you can store it in your local system. You can upload the files from your local system, or as well as you can also use OCI object storage. And once you ingest the files into document understanding service, you can either use like a pre-trained model or like custom model, right? So you can use either of the pre-trained inbuilt AI model or the custom model in order to extract the information only you want. And after you upload the data, and the result is through JSON payload, it stores the result in JSON payload format, and the result is also stored within object storage bucket. And further, this can be used within different services, like you can use digital assistant, or probably like you can leverage this JSON payload in your Oracle Apex application, SaaS, or autonomous data warehouse, and so on. So let's think about like different features of document understanding service. So the first thing is that like you have the text extraction. So when you think about text extraction, one thing which you would have heard is optical character recognition. You can extract the textual features from the documents, such as like when you upload your printed documents, or probably like handwritten documents. So the document understanding service will still be able to understand the text and it is able to digitize that text and give it back to you. You're able to use tilted documents, or probably like you would have had like old receipts which are torn. You can still upload it and get back the information as well. So let's think about like another use case wherein you're using document classification, wherein you are having document understanding service. It also provides like different possible document types, and it will analyze the documents. Each document will have specific confidence threshold. When you upload a document, it is able to classify the documents using the AI, which is inbuilt, and it is able to classify these documents into different categories by analyzing both like text as well as a visual structure. And these are all the pre-trained classification classes, such as like invoice. You can upload your invoices, receipts, or like driver's license or passport, and so on. But in today's demonstration, we are going to focus mostly on key value extraction, wherein you're going to upload a receipt and then you're going to extract the data from the receipt which you have just uploaded. Here, like no training is required. You're just going to upload your receipt, and then automatically it understands these fields. For example, you have your invoice, or you have a receipt, or probably driver's license, and so on. You're going to upload it, and then you're going to extract both key as well as values from these documents. Now, what we'll do is we will go back to your Oracle Cloud Console, and then I'll walk you guys through the document understanding service so you have a better understanding. Let's take a look. Once you log into Oracle Cloud Console, you'll see that you can click on the navigation on the top left, and you can go to Analytics and AI. And this is where you can see your document understanding service. And you can click on the document understanding service to see this console. And this is where you have different features which you can access. So one is like one of the component is like text extraction model. So this is where you can as you can see here, a handwritten text has been uploaded, and then you're able to extract the text from here. Let's suppose you want to upload your own text, right? So I can select the output location. As I said, you can select your compartment, and then you can select the output storage bucket. Here I'm going to pick my bucket which I've stored it in my compartment. And then I'm going to give a prefix for this. And then once I click on submit button, I can go ahead and then upload my own files here. For example, let me go to a different folder, and I'm just going to upload this page. And let's see what happens here. Here, you're able to extract line by line as well as word by word on the right side. And another thing which you'll observe is that here you are able to see the request and response payload. And for everything, you have like the API configured. So you can use the API for text extraction, and then you can pass in this payload, and then you get the response like this. Similarly, let's go to the text table extraction model. Here, in this example, they have uploaded a document, and in that document, you have a table, and the table has been extracted here. And as I said, like you have the JSON payload, you can use like request and response, and then you can upload your PDF documents, and then be able to extract the useful information. The next one is the key value extraction model. So this is all like pre-built model. I'm going to like take an example here. Let me just upload an image, which is a receipt which is torn. In this receipt, you will notice that like this receipt is like torn. So we'll have to see whether you're able to capture the data or not. On the right side, like Garden State Hotel, that's the merchant name and the merchant phone number, and all the items like line by line is being extracted on this screen itself. You can see the response on the screen itself. And we do have a document classification. As I mentioned, when you upload a document, it'll automatically select whether it is an invoice or probably like a passport or a payslip and so on. So let's suppose I'm going to upload another invoice here. Let's see what happens here. So this is it is identifying that it is a receipt and it's giving the threshold of 100%. Apart from this, we also have something called as custom models, wherein you can create your own custom model and make your own bounding boxes, add your own training data to it. So let's for this, first of all, what you need to do is you need to go to AI services and go to data labeling service. This is where you can create your own labels. And here, what we would be doing is you're going to the data sets and you can create your own data set. Here, you can pick either whether it is an image data set, text data set, or a document data set. And then you would select like what model you want, like whether it is a single label or probably like you have a key value extraction, which where you're going to configure your own keys and values. You can do that as well. For the interest of time, what I've done is like I've uploaded the data set. And in this data set, as you can see here, so this is the data set which has you have configured like the merchant name and the date and the price and so on. Let me take another example so that it'll make it clearer. Uh, Here, let's say, for example, I'm going to, let me just pick another example here. Here I'm selecting this air travel PDF, and yeah, once it loads, you'll be able to add some bounding boxes to this and then be able to extract the relevant information. Yeah, here, so let's select United. So that is going to be your merchant. And so here, like you have, there are like 6 pages in this. I'm going the total price as the price, and I can set the label here accordingly. And the date of purchase is this, so I'm going to select the date here. So that way, I'm going to train this data, and then I'm able to now test the data set. So once this data labeling is complete and you have like training corpus, what you do is you can go back to your document understanding service. And once you go to your service and create a model, and here we are going to choose the existing data set. For example, we have like the demo data set which we just created, and we have not completed the training there. So I'm going to pick another data set that is a sample data set which I have already have, and with that I'll be able to train and then test it out. So the way I can test it out is that let me pull up the document understanding here. In this, let me select probably let's go back to the different folder here. I'm going to select this, and let's see what happens. When I upload my receipt, right now it's analyzing, and let's take a look what is happening in the background. And then it is getting stored in the in this folder. And once this analyzation is complete, you'll notice that like the merchant food place is there and the type of expenses here. The total date is all being captured automatically. Here you're defining your own data labels, and then you can pass it to an API or probably use it in your own application which you're using. So this is about like the document understanding service, and at a high level, I hope you got an overview about this. So the next thing which we'll be doing is I'll be showing you a quick demonstration. The demonstration would include, so this is our architecture. Let's suppose I'm a user and I'm going to my Supremo expense page, and that's where I'm going to find a chatbot. And once I click on the chat widget, I'll be able to upload the bot is offering me to create an expense or probably modify the expense report. Once I click on the create expense report, I'm able to upload the file, upload my receipt, and then it is able to parse the receipt using the digital assistant. You're able to upload the receipt, and then on the integration cloud API, it is able to pick the receipt, and then it is able to parse the receipt using document understanding service, and the important information is automatically saved to ERP system. So the ERP system is having your receipt, which has been uploaded with all the useful information, and it is asking you, and it is giving back the response back to the chatbot. So that's going to be our demonstration. Now let's dive into Oracle Integration Cloud, and I'll pass it on to Aditya for that.
Okay, thank you, Cypria. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to present today. And Cypria, thanks for that overview on document understanding. The second piece inside this demo, right, is the Oracle integration engine here, right? So the document understanding service that Cypria just talked about, think of it just as a service. So basically, it's once you train the models or use the pre-trained models, they are just API calls, right? They're exposed as a REST API where you pass in a document and you get a response back in a JSON format, right? So the whole flow of picking up a document from some sort of repository or some sort of front end, calling the API, getting the results back and sending the results back, or in this case, I saw a lot of questions were coming in, to create invoices in ERP or create any sort of new objects inside of any target system. We need some sort of orchestration mechanism, right? So that's where, in this case, we've used Oracle integration. So Oracle integration is a pure PaaS middleware tool, right? So it's a pure PaaS solution. So everything's managed by Oracle at the back, all the infrastructure. And you, as a developer, are only worried about creating your pipelines or your flows or your orchestrations to do these and solve these business problems, right? So the main thing here, right, is the integration engine. So we can use this to not only connect to SaaS products, right? So anything that's available publicly in the cloud, but we can also use it to connect to on-prem, right? So if you have any sort of private applications, be it on-prem or in any other cloud, which is not exposed publicly to the internet, we have a mechanism called an agent, which you can install, which brokers the communication between that system and Oracle integration, right? So we have hybrid connectivity, right? Cloud as well as on-prem. And then you can also see on the left side, right, not only to Oracle applications, but also non-Oracle applications. You'll see in the next slide, we have a lot of adapters that we can use. So that's the main piece. With it, we have another piece within Integration Cloud called Oracle Process Automation. And that's used for creating workflows, right? So if you have any sort of approval flows where a human intervention is needed, right? Let's say you're creating an expense or creating an invoice, someone needs to check and then approve, and then only it should be created. So you can use the process automation engine within Oracle integration to do that, right? With the latest release, 2502, I think it's mostly all of the development instances have them now. We have released the robotic process automation feature. This is for any sort of if you want to integrate with any sort of application that does not expose APIs, right? So legacy systems or systems that are currently, in development of APIs, you can use the RPA module to, perform human-like tasks, interacting with the UI to, get data or enter data into systems. There's another module within Integration Cloud for EDI processing, that's B2B. We also have one for decision models, right? So if you have complex decisions, instead of if and else's, you want to use a decision table, we have that service available as well. And then the more common use cases that we see nowadays with this tool is this one that we're going to demo today, which is the AI document processing, where this you create a flow inside the integration engine that picks up a file from somewhere. In this case, it's getting it from ODA, from the chatbot, calls the APIs to parse the document and return back a JSON. So gets that JSON, and then returns only the 10 fields or 5 fields that the chatbot is interested in, right? So that's kind of most a common use case that we see with this tool. And then yeah, that's Hyperion. Let's just go to the next slide. In terms of adapters, you'll see we have 100 plus adapters into these systems. So just expanding on this use case, right? Once you, let's say, read a receipt, read an invoice, read any sort of document, you have to put it in, let's say, a database or any sort of end stream, downstream system, or any sort of SaaS system. You can use one of the adapters that we have. And if you don't see an adapter for your technology, then we have, technology adapters, REST SOAP, FTP, file, OData, GraphQL. So you can use those to, invoke the endpoints and pass the data that's parsed to those systems. Yeah. Yeah. Next slide, please. Thanks. So just a quick slide on why you would use this service, right? So we understand that automation requires a variety of tools, right? There's no one fits all. And that's why, this product, Oracle integration, is a combination of a lot of different modules, right? A couple of the ones that I talked about. So you want to integrate with APIs, use the integration engine, right? You want to integrate with private APIs, right? Use the agent that's available within integration. You want to integrate without APIs, right? There's a system that doesn't have APIs. You can use the robotic process automation feature within OIC. Once you create your integrations, you want an approval, use the process automation engine that comes within OIC. You have complex decisions, you can use the decision service. You need to store some files, you use the file server that comes with OIC. Trading partner, EDI, B2B, use the B2B engine. And then lastly, once you've created all these flows, now you need a UI, use the Visual Builder service to create web or mobile apps to interact with these flows. Yeah. So that's in a nutshell what OIC is. Now pertaining to this use case, wherein we are getting a file from the chatbot and we are calling the DU API and returning back the results. We have what we call accelerators and recipes. So within OIC, there is an integration store. Within this store, if you search, you'll see that there are lots of integrations. Basically, these are skeleton flows, or you can think of it as a jumping off point, right? So this gives you a base flow with all the mappings and everything done. Only thing you have to update are the connections to your systems. And then, this gives you a jumping off point, right? Instead of starting from zero, starting from scratch, you can look at the store to see if there is a readily available recipe or an accelerator. And if you find one, you can leverage that to, cut down on your development, right? So in this case, for this particular use case, we have a recipe. And on the right side, you'll see I've searched for document understanding. And the recipe is called OCI Document Understanding ERP Cloud, right? So what this recipe does is it takes attachments from a Gmail mailbox. So whenever a new mail comes in, this runs on a schedule. This goes and gets, the new mail, gets the new attachment, and then sends the attachment to another flow, and that flow takes the attachment and calls the document understanding API, parses the data, sends back the data, right? So this is the accelerator, the recipe that we have. And I've just modified it in this case to fit our use case here where, the chatbot is sending the document and then we're, doing the processing. So just the way I kind of modified it, you can do it as well. You can use it as a jumping off point. This saved me a lot of time. So whenever you develop integrations, I would highly recommend go to this integration store, just search for your, flow or your integration and see if it's available. This will help you greatly. Okay, so yeah, let me just share my screen now, Cypria. I just wanted to quickly show the integration. Okay. So I'm logged in here to my integration cloud instance. And on my home screen, just go back, I'll just show you what I did. On my home screen, you'll see that there are some samples here, but if you click on Browse Store, this will give you a list of all the available recipes and accelerators, right? So you'll see there's 237. So what I did was I searched for document understanding because that's what my use case was about. And you'll see when you click on the recipe, there's a link to how to use this recipe. And I've opened it. But you'll see that there's very good documentation explaining what it does, what requirements are, what are the steps you need to do before you install the recipe, how do you install and configure the recipe, and then how do you activate and run it, right? So pretty good documentation explaining how you can use this. But basically what you have to do is you just do a get here, and this installs a recipe, right? So I've done it. I'll show you, I'll go under projects. This is the recipe that it gets created when you click the get button. And I have a lot of many different integrations that I've created, but at the base with the recipe, you get this one integration that runs on a schedule, gets attachments out of Gmail, and then you get this integration which takes that attachment and then does this processing, right? So in this use case, the one that Cypria and I built, we were doing nothing with Gmail, so that's why I kind of just ignored it. But the second integration that was taking the attachment and then processing, I kind of modified it, right? So just to give you a high level rundown of what it does is basically it receives a link from ODA, a link to the file that's uploaded inside of ODA. So what I do is I get that attachment. So my first call is a REST call to get the file. My second call is to pass that file to the document understanding service. My third call is to get the results from object storage, because as Cypria mentioned, the results are stored inside object storage. And then from object storage, I'm reading the file. So I'm reading that file. It's a JSON file. I need to break it down into a subset of fields, right? Because there's going to be a lot of fields inside of that. So basically at a high level, I'm just breaking that down into the 10, 15 fields that I want. And then I'm using the ERP connection, ERP adapter connection, to create an expense inside of ERP, right? And then I also send back the results that I parsed out for the expense to the chatbot. So the chatbot can show you what was read from the PDF and also create the expense in ERP, right? So yeah, I think that's about it. I'll hand it back to Cypria, who will run the whole flow, and then that'll help you visualize it better. Yeah? Back to you, Cypria.
Yeah, now that we have had a chance to take a look at how the OIC works, let's take a look at what a digital assistant means. So, a digital assistant is like you would have used a lot of chatbots in the past, right? So, what is a digital assistant? A digital assistant is a easy way for you to talk or text to an application, especially like during the call center operations, especially to get an answer to the questions and process a request or drive an action. So it reduces a lot of time and energy for the call center operations by helping the agents focus mostly on the important task while uh, while automating all the mundane tasks through the chatbot. So, you would have heard the term chatbot as well as digital assistant, right? But what is the difference between both? A chatbot can perform a certain task, whereas a digital assistant will be able is like a master bot, which has multiple child bots together. In this case, like you can see the architecture of the digital assistant. The way it functions is that you have the digital assistant hosted on any of these channels. For example, like you can take an example of WhatsApp or like Slack, web channel or mobile channel, or it could be like a voice assistant like Alexa. You can host the chatbot and deploy it on multiple different channels. And then the digital assistant is a combination of multiple chatbots together, acting like a master bot. So once you expose this, once the user is asking a question about submitting expenses, it is taking you to the submit expenses skill. So now I'll start using the terminology. Instead of using chatbot, I would use a terminology called as skill. So each skill is performing a certain task. So let's suppose I ask this another question related to payroll. It is taking me to the payroll chatbot, right? So it is routing between different skills. And then how are we getting this information from? Like if I ask something related to absence, so it is going to the HCM skill, it is getting back the absence, and then it is displaying it onto the bot. So the chatbot can access different APIs. For example, if you want to connect to your ERP skill, you can connect to your ERP REST endpoints and then be able to fetch the data from your backend system and display it back to the bot. Similarly, not just these skills like SCM, ERP, and different skills, you can also connect to any third-party system which has the REST endpoints enabled. So now let's look at how you can build your skill together. So before that, let me show you a quick demonstration and then show you how we have built it together. All right. So this is our web page wherein like a user like me who is going to log into the system, and then I'm able to see a small chat widget at the bottom right corner. Here, like it says that, hey, I'm Supremo Assistant. How can I help you today? And it is helping me to create expenses or modify expense. I'm going to create an expense. So instead of like typing out each time, like I would just directly upload my receipt from here. I can select the image. Probably I'm going to pick this receipt and then upload it. And let's see what happens here. In the background, it is able to call the ERP REST service, which is like using the Oracle Integration Cloud. You're able to upload the receipt, and then like you're able to parse the receipt into different important things, like for example, the item name, the merchant name, and all of this information is being parsed, and it is calling the ERP endpoint. And in the ERP endpoint, once you like, let me just refresh this ERP page, and you notice that like there's an IKEA food place, and then the dinner receipt is being attached to this. And then let me just take a look at the attachment, and the uploaded file from the ODA is here. Let's try adding another receipt. Okay, create another expense. Here it's asked me to upload a receipt. Let me just pick a different receipt. Here I've uploaded a different receipt. Let's refresh this page and let's see if there is some change here. Here I've uploaded a different receipt and it shows that it's pending, and these are all like digital assistant expense items. And then you'll see that the itemized receipt is right here, along with the total amount in everything in a carousel format, in a rich card layout format. Which is kind of cool, right? Like imagine the amount of time you are going to save by just uploading and instead of typing out each time. But now let's see how we have built this. And I'm going to show you how you can build it by yourself from the scratch. I'm logged into my digital assistant instance, and this is how it's going to look like. And you notice that there are like different skills here. And if you want to create your own skill, you can do that. The one which we have just demonstrated is document understanding demonstration. I've created this for the purpose of this webinar, and I've added some intents here. The intents like build expenses or probably create expense. All of this I've created, and then I have added some entities. So if you want, like, you can add your own entities. Like if you want to capture the date, merchant name, and all of this information, you can create your own entities. So entities are like it's like a variable within a sentence. So let's say if I'm saying that I would like to the expense for my taxi expense, instead of like mentioning create an expense, I would just say the taxi expenses. So it is automatically capturing the word taxi, and it is mentioning the type expense type as taxi. In this scenario, what we are doing is we have created like a flow designer. Flow designer is like it is taking you through different flows. Let's suppose I'm going to click on preview and just say hi here, and then it is taking me to the greetings flow. But when I click on create expense here, it is taking me to the expense flow wherein it is asked me to upload a receipt from here. All right. Now that we have seen that you need like three different components here for building, one is like the intent. Intent is nothing but the intention of the user, and you're adding your training corpus data for it to understand what the user's intention is. And then we added like entities and then the dialog flow. But let's go back and then create our own skill, right? Um, Here, I have created an own skill, and I've added the same utterances here. And then, like, let's suppose if I want to create my own utterance, right? I can just give me a second. I'm going to like go ahead and add more utterances here. Um, Probably I'll just say create EXP. And then whenever I add an intent, an utterance here, you can see that there's a training option. I can either use trainer HT or trainer TM. Whenever you have like a fewer number of utterances, you will use trainer TM. And if you have like a bigger training, if you have like 200 or 300 utterances and you have multiple intents, you would use like a larger training model that is trainer TM. That is machine learning based, and this is linguistic based model, which is all pre-built. And after this, you can go ahead and then add your own flow here. Here, I have created a flow for greetings, but then I do not have a flow for creating an expense. So I'm just going to say create expense is my flow. And the intent here is creating expense. So whenever the user is trying to create an expense, I'm going to go through this flow. So the first thing, when I said that like create an expense, it needs to greet saying that sure, I can help you get started, right? So let's add it quickly here. Start expense. And then I'm going to just say this message. So whenever I say create EXP, so I've just, instead of like expense, I'm just going to write like create EXP. So it's going to say, sure, I can help you get started, but it doesn't know where to go after that, right? So for that, we need to add more flow here. Let me just add a state. For example, let me just pick a card layout and uh, upload attachment, correct? And I'm going to click on insert. And then I will just edit this response page. Here, I'm going to say that like, please upload your receipt. And well, once you upload the receipt, it needs to be saved somewhere, right? For that, we need to create like a variable. So the variable is here I'm going to use is receipt details. I'm just going to give a variable and then going to select the variable type as map. And once this is done, once I upload the attachment, what needs to happen after that? So the next thing is that I need to call the OIC endpoint, which Aditya has created, and then call that endpoint in order to make a request for like parsing the receipt and then uploading it onto ERP system. Correct? So for that, I need to go to settings and then go to API services here. And in the API service, I've already added this here. For example, I've added the OIC endpoint, which is right here, and I've used the basic authentication here and given the credentials. And so this is an example URL here, and I can also test it from here itself. Like I can click on the test request in order to make the test here, and so this is able to post the request here. I'm going to go back to my demonstration and then I can click on add state. And in this, I'm going to now now click on call REST service. And then I can pick the REST service which I've created here, and I'm going to select the post method, and I'm going to pass this file URL as the parameter here, and then give it back to the user. So here I do not have a variable where I'm storing the ERP result as an output. So I'm going to create a variable here called ERP result. And then I'm going to click on apply so that like I'm storing the value of the API in the ERP result. And after that, I need to present this in a way that the user can understand. So I've used like a rich card layout. And in this, I'm going to add the response items. Yeah, here I'm going to update this and update all the variables and parameters and so on, and then you can click on apply, and that's it. Like we were able to now build the bot. Now let's say create an expense, and it's going to ask me to upload my attachment. I can I can upload my attachment and I can test it from the tester itself. And then once I upload the attachment, it needs to call the ERP system, and then now boom, it's working, right? So it is able to make the call and onto the ERP system, and you're able to get the response. So that being said, let's go back now that we understood like how you can create a chatbot by yourself. Let me introduce you to the program we are a part of. Um, So let me introduce you to the Code Innovate program. Um, Before I could talk a little bit more about the program, let me tell you a short story. Here we have these kids who go on a fun trip to Legoland, and one thing they enjoy the most is the Master Builder class. The Master Builder is in green and showing different ways to put these Lego pieces together, but doesn't give any instructions. But at the end of this program, these kids build these cute penguins, which is on the desk, which is kind of cool, right? So that is what a virtual coordinator is all about. It's like a 5 half-day program wherein you get hands-on experience on Oracle Cloud Services. Our engineers will work closely with you guys to build something cool on Oracle Cloud. It'll help you to facilitate like you have like rapid amount of knowledge sharing during this course of the event, and we will let you provide your own use case, and then at the end of this session, you can showcase whatever you have built to your leadership team. So this is how it works. You're going to bring your own use case. You can pick like a use case like this, like using document understanding, digital assistant as well as OIC. So that could be your use case, and then we would like work with you guys to build your first class prototype onto Oracle Cloud. So that's going to be like a Code Innovate program for 5 half business days for 4 hours each day. And then you'll build your first pass prototype. It's not going to be just you guys who's going to build it. It's going to be our Code Innovate team who's going to work closely with you guys to build this prototype together. You can pick any use case, like it could be your cloud native use case or AI use case, or probably something related to low code application development use case as well. And then you can pick one of these use cases and let us know so that like we can work with you guys. If you're interested in this program and you want to work with us, you can email to codeinnovate underscore US underscore group. Or you can just type in your email addresses even in the chat and we'll take a look at it. Tara, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you so much for all the wonderful questions, everybody. So we will just wrap up real quick here. If you enjoyed today's session, we do have upcoming webinars. This is an ongoing series, so you can find any of the upcoming events at oracle.com/developer/events. And then we also will have a short little survey that pops up as you exit the Zoom today. So we'd love to hear any feedback on today's topic or on any topics that you'd like to hear in the future. And lastly, we invite you to check out our new Oracle AI Solutions Hub, and this has over 70 real-world use cases with demos and steps to get started using AI. So that is just at oracle.ai. So with that, we just want to thank everybody so much for being here today, and we hope to see you at the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.